Hello there! In this video, I am going to teach you how to make your own coffee painted pattern papers. You don't necessarily need to use them for that. You can just fold this little card in half and make a birthday card, or just use it to put your gift card as a present for Christmas. You can make it whatever motif you want and draw whatever you want in them. This is just teaching you step by step how to control your little coffee to make these papers. If you haven't seen part 1 of these, all you need to know about coffee painting series, I will recommend you go watch that one. Let's get started, guys. First, we're gonna do lines with brush. This is just for precision. Trust me, this looks really easy, and it is, but for some reason when I was in art class, I wanted to do lines and my hands wanted to play the maracas.
I love playing the maracas, they're so fun.
So they don't need to be perfect, because I do not believe that perfect is something that you can achieve in art. You can get close to it, but just make lines, practice your brush strokes, make them thin. If you press the little brush tip, they will be a little bit thicker, but what you want is to try to get precision. You can see how wobbly mine are. Then there you go, see that? Wobbly. Then we're gonna practice circles for water control. This is really cool because you're gonna be able to blend in some of the darker colors like I'm doing here. You do a dark, a little lighter one. You can even make them bleed into each other. You see how I'm tilting my paper a little bit so that I have control over the water, because as soon as you make that round circle, the water is going to stay in there and it's not going to go everywhere. Remember that we need to be using some thicker paper like mixed media paper or watercolor paper. If you use regular paper, then this will not work because it will absorb the water and you will have no control over where the bleeding goes or where the coffee is gonna puddle or anything at all. And this is important for this kind of things. If you want a flower in the middle to have kind of this effect, and then later on add some extra details with the paste, then you won't be able to control that using regular paper. As always, I am going to leave all the supplies that we used in the description below so you know what to get. And remember that my papers, every time I try to do something like this, I make them available for you for free so you can print them out and see what I did. I will put a link down below so you can print them and use them as you please. Even for wrapping paper, that will be fantastic for your gifts. Trust me, this saves a lot of money and time if you have a printer at home. Anyhow, this could also be used as planets. My sons love to make this into little planets, so anyhow, just an idea. Now we're going to move into values, and you need to practice this with some squares. This is a great way to control the space on your paper because white space is also important, but this way you see how much coffee you add and what value you get, or what different color shades you get. So everything, it's obviously brown here, but you can have light brown, medium brown, super dark pasty brown, and also I paint with my water that I rinse my brushes in. That's a really light shade and it's very watery. So again, we're gonna practice here not only lines and shades, and also we're gonna do water control. So this is a great exercise, and in my opinion it looks very pretty. And you can add quotes into this, you can add flowers or doodles, whatever you want, as long as you practice different shades. See, skin color, hair color, you name it, you got it here. You can actually do this as a fun little background for your bujos or your journals. Anyhow, moving on to the next one, we're gonna try to do something different. Instead of using brushes, we're gonna use a toothbrush. You know I love my toothbrushes, and here you can control how much pasty substance you put in your paper and what lines you get, putting more, less, you know, just playing with the control that you have on your brush and what you get. This is amazing if you want to do skies or you want to do something rough. This is good for you to practice with. Brush marks to control pressure. This is really important because sometimes you're doing some fine detail and all of a sudden you put too much pressure on that brush, then it becomes a big detail instead of a little teeny tiny delicate detail. So the more you practice, the better you're gonna get at this. This pattern is also good for controlling lines. You see mine curve a little. Again, my hands went to play the maracas. So anyhow, switching to the brush tip, switching the brush tip actually helps you practice everything else with a new tip, with a new brush. This is really good because pointy brushes or round brushes are not the same as the flat ones. Therefore, they do not absorb water the same way, and they do not leave a print the same way. So see here, I'm tilting the brush. I'm kind of trying to make different marks with it, and this really helps my hand get to know a new brush. It's as simple as that. So it's kind of hard when you're filming to control all of this stuff, but if you were to do it by yourself, like following this video or whatever, or just replay it and see what you can make, it's really fun because you're learning, but you're also creating something fun, and you can actually hold it, like hang this on your wall as wall decor, or in a nursery as boho nursery decor. That's very popular now, right? So there you go, easy peasy using coffee. How inexpensive is that? Now we're gonna practice big shapes and then add details. So we're gonna kind of get this page ready so we can add details later. You see I'm using a light value here, and I'm just making like leaf shapes, very organic. They don't have to be perfect. Again, nature is not perfect, yet it's so beautiful. So practice your leaves here with a kind of light shade. You can add some other stuff later, but be aware of the white in this too, because the white spaces are also important. Make sure that you have some leaves going out so that you know what the coffee does on the butter of your paper. Some I rip, so in that area they will concentrate more. Anyhow, like I said, just try different shapes, let them dry, and then we're gonna add some details later. Then you have to kind of challenge yourself with the lines. In my case, maybe your case is different values, then challenge yourself making something with different values. Since lines, it's what I struggle most with. I'm making some flowers, trying to control that pressure in the brush, those straight or curvy lines. In this case, you're gonna see the stems are gonna have to be a little bit straight. So I'm trying not to get the wavy feeling I always get with my line strokes, or lined and brush strokes, sorry. So here, this is really easy, really simple. It will look beautiful on a birthday card, or just adding a little pocket in the back for you to like stick your little gift card in. Anyhow, just giving you details, but try to challenge yourself to do something that's hard for you in different ways. Flowers, lines, buildings, I don't know, whatever rocks your boat. But this is nice for you to just experiment, and it's just coffee, so you're not wasting a lot of money, and money's never wasted with art, let me just say. Anyhow, now we're gonna move on to a bit of a challenging pasty substance. This is, even for me, hard to control because I never like acrylics. I feel like acrylics are too thick, and for me, I'm impatient and I want everything to dry super fast. And when things are thick, I can't see the layers underneath. So if you have this paste, you want to see how it reacts because it's different. This one is more kind of solid, and it will not move in your paper the same way. So practice with the paste before you add details. We're gonna use this to add details later and make some nature prints. But anyhow, paste is not the same as watery coffee. Just keep that in mind, and it will dry up shiny. Now, going back to the big leaf we did before, we're gonna add some details. They don't need to be real leaf details or anything like that. Just try to practice around the leaf for the contour, and just again making those lines so that you stay within the border of that coffee that you did and the white paper. And then just add little details. You can add dots, you can add squirrels, you can do lines like I'm doing here. Again, this is your painting, so you have control over how realistic you want it to be. Obviously, leaves don't have these kind of veining in them. They're more organic. These are super straight and they don't feel natural at all. But this is what I wanted to do. This is what I needed to practice, so I did straight lines. I practice straight lines because that's what I struggle with. It's silly, but that to me and my hands, it's kind of weird. So you do what you feel like you need to practice, even if that's water control or brush strokes like me, or for example in this sleeve you have to start with the tip, then put pressure on that tip and fix it at the end. So start with the tip, then put pressure on it and drag it while you're doing that, and then lift up slowly, and then you control the coffee in the little tip, or you move it around so it goes back to the middle. But basically just point, push, drag, lift. That's how you get simple leaf. Obviously there's other methods out there, but this is really what I know how to do, and it's fun, and to be able to move the coffee around later, and you know, it's just controlling the amount of water and the amount of darkness I want within that leaf. Anyhow, don't worry about being super perfect. You are a creative person. You can go back to kindergarten and make houses and clouds and something that feels more natural to you. Even write names. You know, anything that you want to do, you can do with coffee. Just practice. You see here I have some white spaces, so I'm trying to fill them out so that it looks good to my eye, and it doesn't look like too much, but it doesn't look like it needs a little bit more. And now you can do different types of leaves. I'm just doing some little teeny tiny details here, little teeny tiny brush strokes. You're gonna see me here. They're not perfect. They're gonna be a little bit more detailed on one side and then kind of meshed up in the other one. Remember, you can do whatever you want, as organic as you want. Just have fun with it. And if you want to share your work with me, I'm gonna leave my Instagram down below and my email so you can share that, and all other coffee techniques down too, like other videos of coffee, so you can see them. This is how they turned out. I hope this helps you and you like it, and you click the subscribe button and that notification bell, so whenever the next video in my series comes up, you will be notified. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day. Bye.